The Vision High School Sports Beat is brought to you by the 9 locally owned Vision Automotive Group dealerships from Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Hyundai, Kia, and Nissan, with locations in Webster, Henrietta, Greece, Penfield, Fairport, and Canandaigua. Online at visionauto.com. Hello everyone, and thanks once again for joining us at the Vision Automotive Group's High School Sports Beat. I'm Bill Pucko. Every week at this time, we take a comprehensive look at sports in Section 5 in Monroe County. We begin with our honor roll of high school teams. At number 3, the Brockport softball team lost the state co-player of the year, senior pitcher Julia DiMartino, to a season-ending injury. New coach Mary Karen Wheat somehow has what's left playing at an 8-2 clip. Taylor Light worked a 2-hitter with 11 strikeouts, had 3 hits and 3 RBI in a win over Churchville Chi-Line. Number 2, Gananda softball. The Panthers are off to a small school 7-0 start. Bree Walker pitched a no-hitter against East Rochester. And at number 1, East High baseball, dominant in the City League, 11-4 with 10 straight wins. Jordi Agosto had 7 hits, scored 7 runs, and drove in 4 in back-to-back victories. Which brings us to Victor and the Blue Devils lacrosse pipeline. Lacrosse for almost as far as the eye can see. This was Lacrosse Fest, Victor style, and these days nobody does it better.
It's exploding. We have in the youth program, we have about 225 kids on the boys' side alone, from kindergarten to 6th grade. That doesn't include the scholastic, that's modified and up. And it's growing every year. It's a constant influx of kids. Everybody's trying it. A lot of kids at this age still do, they'll do baseball, they do soccer, they do lacrosse, they mix it up, but in total we have a large population and growing, probably the largest in Monroe County as far as youth is concerned.
Here they start them young.
Passing and catching is big. Picking up ground balls, learning the game, learning the fundamentals. It's really all it's about. Having fun mostly.
You know, it's just said, boy, that's early to get kids started in organized sports. What do you think?
It's never too early. And it's organized, organized sports. We're not forcing them to do anything. We're just having fun. So the organization is just getting a couple guys out here to kind of make sure they're doing the things right. We're not really trying to promote winning or losing. We're just trying to have fun.
From these humble beginnings is the foundation formed for the championship teams at Victor Fields at the high school varsity level. This is the real entry level. Do you feel like at this point, when you see the varsity team play with the success that it's had, that it's making a difference?
Yeah, absolutely. Some of the kids in the varsity program now started in the youth program, and you can tell the success that they're having up there is in direct impact in this program here. So.
Over in the stadium, the girls are performing admirably. The modified teams, representing the middle school, is playing impressively against Livonia. With the varsity and JV teams cheering them on from the sidelines. It's in terms of implementing a program, so you're at the very top here in terms of getting everybody on the same page. Does this help?
Yes, exactly. And we really want to get the kids excited and, get relationships with the older kids to, promote both of our programs.
It's actually really nice supporting them and watching them play and see that, I was just that last year, and seeing how much I've changed from playing unmodified.
The Mods beat Livonia 16-2. Do you see that? Do you spend some time imagining what it'll be like someday to play in the varsity game?
Yeah, I kind of want to I look up to them, so it's nice to see them there.
By the time the varsity teams, girls and boys, take the field in the evening, games on 7 fields over the course of a full day will have taken place. laying the foundation for the next generation of champions.
And shoot it, right?
Or you can pass it again.
Yeah, you're right. You can shoot it or you can pass it again. That's good. And how many passes?
I think this day is really important because it shows how good our programs is starting at the youth and it builds up to the varsity. And I love how the succession goes. There's youth teams playing now, and at the end it'll show our varsity team. And it's important because everyone shows up this day. This is a big day. Everyone's watching.
Victor, or good game, Livonia! 1, 2, 3.
Good game, Livonia! Thank you, officials! We love you, fans! Way to go, Victor!
Combined, the varsity lacrosse teams in Victor High School this year have gone 22-2. Coming up, the his and hers from Penfield, and Kim Burnson joins us with our Making the Grade nominee when the Vision High School Sports Beat continues. Welcome back, and thanks for joining us at the Vision Automotive Group's High School Sports Beat. I'm Bill Pucko. Let's take a look at that honor roll of high school athletes now. At number 3, we profiled Pittsford Mendon 8th grade golfer Will Thompson recently. He had a week with the low half round of 34 at Mendon Golf Club and then played Oak Hill East in a 68. The Vikings as a golf team are 12-1. At number 2, Webster Thomas track star Carrie Garrett. She broke 2 school records in a midweek dual meet against Penfield. The new marks are in the 100 and the 200. And at number 1, School of the Arts softball star Kyra Majewski. Kyra had 4 hits and a home run against Monroe and followed that up with 4 hits and 2 home runs against East High. The Silverhawks are 9-1. Which brings us to Penfield and a perfect day for the his and hers. This track meet has 37 years of history to draw upon, and a field full of athletes representing 36 area schools for the annual His and Hers Invitational at Penfield. The featured event is a trophy race, named in honor of the best this area ever saw, Trent Jackson, a 1964 All-American Olympic sprinter out of Franklin High School, so the 100-yard dash was front and center. On the girls' side, a familiar result. Rush Henrietta superstar Lene Tava Thomas not only won, but established a new meet record, not unexpectedly, in 11.97 seconds. That eclipsed the 27-year-old mark by Zilla Higgs out of East.
Meet record is nice, isn't it? Tell me about the race.
It was very fast. The adrenaline was amazing, so I just went for it and I did good.
On the girls' side, Lene Tava Thomas from Rush Henrietta. Her time today was 11.97, which broke the meet record held by Zilla Higgs.
The boys' final, while not record-setting, was spectacular. Won on the far right by a newcomer, Greece Athena senior Calvary Rogers. Won by 2/100ths of a second over Arcadia's Joe Mendola. Rogers, a middle distance runner, was competing in his first 100.
It was a great race. I came out a little slow, but I knew where I was. I always finished strong, so I knew I had the race at the 50 mark.
That's funny, a race that short, you can actually break down into pieces?
Oh yeah, a lot of pieces actually. You're supposed to hold your breath the first 5 steps, stay as low as you can for as long as you can, come up, exhale, it's a lot.
Even under the best of conditions, the steeplechase isn't what you'd call a pleasant experience. But it is always one of our favorites for many of the wrong reasons. Nevertheless, Section 5 seems to be proficient at this event, and there's another new standout to contend with. Churchville Chilai's Anna Costarellis, a cross-country champion, just a sophomore, and positioned to become this area's next Katie Lembaugh. This was just Anna's second steeple. She won, naturally, by a full 18 seconds.
I think I have a little more work to do, but I definitely gotten so much better in the water jumps, it's more fluent, I can just get through, so that definitely helps so much.
What's the trick to dealing with a water jump effectively?
You definitely have to speed up, get a good speed when you're coming into the jump, or else you're just not going to go as far as you want to.
And you can't fear falling, right? You can't even let yourself think of that?
I was so nervous before, I always get what if I get up to the jump and can't make the jump, but you don't tell yourself that. You just go through it and think the best out of everything.
On the boys' side, Aquinas sophomore Joe Silvestro was suffering through his first try at the event.
I want to join the military, so I like challenging myself as an individual. And Coach showed me this race, and it looked like it was one of the more challenging races out here. So that's really, ultimately, it was just really another challenge I wanted to try and surpass and overcome.
Henry Burton of Pittsford Mendon won. Joe wound up 15th in the 21-man field.
To us, it looks like this is a crazy event. Everybody focuses on the water jump. Did you ever get used to that?
No, not at all. It was really strenuous. It really starts to get to you. It becomes more of a mental obstacle, actually, towards farther you progress into the race, and that's really what does it for a lot of people, I think.
Rush Henrietta, Pittsford Mendon, and Greece Olympia finished 1, 2, 3 in the combined team standings. Kim Burnson joins us next with our Making the Grade segment as the Vision High School Sports Beat continues.
Welcome back to the Vision High School Sports Beat. I'm Kim Burnson. It's time now for our Making the Grade segment where we honor high school athletes for their performance both on and off the field. This week, Making the Grade honors Bridget Merriman of Penfield for her tremendous courage and dedication to her community. Bridget is a junior and two-sport athlete where she's a co-captain for both the varsity swim and dive team as well as JV lacrosse last spring. She has outstanding grades and is co-editor-in-chief of her high school's national award-winning paper. But it's what she does outside of the classroom and outside of athletics that sets her apart. Bridget is a cancer survivor. She's heavily involved with fundraising for research and works with the Golisano Children's Hospital to help motivate kids who battle cancer. While most teens host big, lavish parties for their 16th birthday, Bridget asked for one thing: a donation instead of a gift. This raised over $1,000 for various organizations close to her and her family. Not only is she making a difference in her own community, but her family runs their own charity called Chemo for Kids. All proceeds help fund a pediatric ward at a hospital in Ethiopia. For her selflessness and courage in the fight against cancer, this week Bridget Merriman is making the grade. If you have a nomination for our Making the Grade segment, we want to hear from you. You can contact us at info@classywolf.com. I'm Kim Burnson. Now here's Bill with a look at our Section 5 calendar.
Amazingly, this marks the start of the last week of regular season action in the team sports. On Monday, the baseball game of the week, Victor has struggled a little this season. The Blue Devils will host Webster Schrader at 4:30. At the same time, the undefeated Victor softball team will play at Webster Schrader. Could be the area's top two teams at 4:30 first pitch on that one. The Royal Combat Invitational Track and Field Meet is Saturday. They have 15 teams competing. The meet starts at 10 a.m. Sectionals begin in all four sports next week. The boys golf Tournament of Champions will go all day at Deerfield Country Club beginning at 7 a.m. Kids get out of school to golf. What a country. Champions square off as the lacrosse season gets serious in the new month of May in our all-sports high school game of the week when the Vision Automotive Group's High School Sports Beat continues. Welcome back to the Vision Automotive Group's High School Sports Beat. I'm Bill Pucko. The lacrosse in Section 5 is as good as it is anywhere in the state. We have a girls' game to show you between two teams that are accustomed to winning. It is our all-sports high school game of the week. They are familiar foes. The Penfield and HFL girls lacrosse teams are among the elite and choose to play each other twice every year. The Cougars, who have won 6 of the last 7 Class C titles, lost to the Patriots, who've won 2 of the last 3 Class A crowns, 8-6 there last month.
Our mentality has always been go out and play the best, because ultimately we want to win a state championship, we want to win a sectional title. And the regular season's important, but it's only a part of the process to the end, which is a state championship. So we play the best teams out there.
This was the first game for each in May. That is significant.
It seems like every season you start the season and you kind of get to feel what your team's going to finish like. And sometimes you just have to have a talk and say, are we ready to play for May? And when they say yes and they raise their intensity during practice, you start to get excited as a coach. So look forward to seeing what the next 3 weeks bring.
To the action, and a first half that produced 7 goals, with visiting Penfield scoring the first. Lindsay Gamer passing to Mackenzie Maring out in front, the seniors combining 3:27 in. HFL had a couple of free shot opportunities early, missed the first, but Kayla O'Connell converted the second to tie the game. Penfield threatened midway through that first half to take command. The Patriots moved back out in front when Gamer picked up a loose ball and took it in for the 2-1 lead. And then grabbed a 3-1 lead when sophomore Megan Matkowski scored with a free shot. With 11 minutes left of the half, it was 3-1 Penfield. Alyssa Sproul had a chance to make it 4-1, but HFL keeper Sarah Benware made a big save. Benware had a big game. Can you tell early in a game that, I'm on tonight, I'm going to be good?
Yeah, usually during warm-ups, if I'm making some good saves, having a good run, I know it's going to be a good game.
The Cougars then moved to within 1 when Spitfire attack Bailey Reed went low with a shot that made it 3-2. Penfield came right back with a great combination effort, going Gamer to Matkowski to Alexis Gage, but Benware made another big stop. HFL did get the game tied when Katie Stankaitis scored on a free shot, but the Patriots patiently worked the last possession to produce a go-ahead goal. Emily Ebersol passing to Gamer, who got another with just 18 seconds left, giving Penfield a 4-3 lead at the half. That goal late in the first half, go-ahead goal in the final seconds, it was a great goal.
Thank you. It's all, we have to work together. We're trying to get through, trying to make it, but we just got to get those catches in the 8, I'd say.
The second half produced a whole different look, one suited to HFL. Sophomore Brittany Chamberlain went nearly end-to-end with the loose ball before passing off finally to O'Connell to tie the game.
It was a great feeling. It definitely just changed the whole game, and it just gave us a run that we really needed late in the game.
You're going upfield with the ball. What is you don't get challenged enough, so you just keep going?
If I'm not getting stopped, then basically.
And then you found the open pass.
Yeah. Kayla was there, and I knew she would make it in, so it all worked out.
With just under 17 minutes left, the Cougars took the lead for the first time. It was Reed forcing the issue, coming out from behind the net and getting knocked down hard and drawing the foul call.
It felt so good. I knew we needed one right there, and I knew that I just had to go hard. And sometimes that's what you have to do. Even if you know you're not going to make it, you just have to go hard and hopefully that you get that foul.
Those free shots weren't the strength of your team's game today. I know you missed kind of like 3-point blank. What's the trick to making those work?
I don't know. It's tricky a lot. It just depends on where the defense is. Sometimes it's better to go in. Sometimes it's better just to rip it from the outside. I don't know. It's all about the position of where everyone else is.
Reed's free shot put HFL up 5-4. Just 48 seconds later, the Cougars got another. Caitlin Muir scoring off the perfect feed from Emma Clark. It was 6-4.
That was awesome. Honestly, it felt great. We practiced it all the time in practice, and I know we needed it. And I know I can rely on Caitlin Muir to make that shot, so it felt really good.
Boy, and that catch, too, because it's a high pass. Is that what you work on?
Yeah, you got to go high so then they can bring it, go down, shoot it down low, so the goalie can't stop it.
Clark wound up with one of her own, capping a dominant second-half comeback for HFL and keeper Sarah Benware, who shut out Penfield over the second half of play. Over the last 3 games, the Cougars have given up just 6 goals. That'll win some.
That's a very good team, okay? I know they've lost a couple of games, but I'm telling you, that's a good team. They're disciplined, and I'll tell you, I couldn't be more prouder of you guys. Like I said to you before the game, there's no better compliment than when you play a team a second time and you get the better of them. And that's what you did today.
We'd like to thank our partners at the Vision Automotive Group. They make the Sports Beat possible.
As do you. Thanks once again for watching. We'll see you next week.